Okay, Hare Krishna. We are continuing our discussion on Gajendra Stuti. Today we are going to discuss Shloka 1 from chapter 3 of Canto 8, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto 8, chapter 3, Shloka number 1, in which Śukadeva Gosvāmī starts telling how Gajendra started offering prayers. Okay, so yeah, can someone else tell any other points? Why death is the most dangerous type of fear?
Prabhuji, we lose our identity. We don't know where we are going. And then we have to leave behind everything, whatever we think is precious.
Yes. We have to leave behind everything. At the time of death, in a fraction of a second, everything will be snatched away from us. All our attachments, all our wealth, accumulations, name, fame, our family members, all the things will be snatched away in a fraction of a second. Kṛṣṇa tells in Bhagavad Gita, Mrityu sarva haraschaham. Kṛṣṇa tells in 11th chapter, saying that he is the time, kalosmi, time I am. This is the famous sentence from Mahabharata serial also. Kalosmi, time I am. And in another shloka, Kṛṣṇa says, Mrityu sarva haraschaham. I'm death personified. In that form, I steal everything. Sarva haras, sarvam harati. In the form of death, in the form of mrityu, Kṛṣṇa takes away everything. So, and it is described in one of the Upanishads. Death at the pain at the time of death is compared to the pain of 14,000 scorpions biting at the same time. Because when our attachments are being snatched away, we will feel great amount of pain. Now when the Upanishad describes that it is equivalent to 14,000 scorpions biting at the same time, we don't have to take that in a literal sense. You cannot measure 14,000 scorpions biting and say that this is exactly equal to the pain that one experiences at the time of death. Similarly, when Upanishads describe the size of the soul, saying that the size of the soul is 1/10,000th time of the tip of the hair, we don't have to take it literally, in the literal sense. It will not be exactly that size. When Upanishads are telling this, it gives us an indication. It tells us approximately that this is how the pain will be. This is how the pain will be. Because all our attachments will be taken away. But, okay, so before that. But we have not seen death in this lifetime, right? We are still alive. So why are we so worried? We don't even know how the pain of death will be. Even a person who has not read Upanishads, even a person who has not heard this statement that the pain of death will be equivalent to 14,000 scorpions biting, even a person who is ignorant of this also is fearful of death. Why?
ప్రభుజీ నెక్స్ట్ లైఫ్ ఎలాంటి లైఫ్ వస్తుందో తెలియదు కదా ప్రభుజీ, ఆ భయం అనేది ఉంటుంది. లైక్ డిగ్రేడ్ అయినా అయిపోవచ్చు, లేదా నెక్స్ట్ మళ్ళీ హ్యూమన్ బర్త్ రాకపోవచ్చు అనే థాట్.
But even many people, they don't even believe in next birth. They are also afraid. Correct,
yes, that's a good point. People who don't, there are two types of fear here, right? One is what Chandrakala said, the other one is Sri Vidya said, right? Even the people who don't believe in next life, still they are afraid of death. Even though they have not seen death in this lifetime, they are still afraid of death. Why?
They're not satisfied in this life.
They are not satisfied in this life. Okay?
Unknown, Prabhuji,
They are
where we
not
are going.
satisfied, then
They want to do
okay to
more.
die. People who are frustrated in life, they want to commit suicide, right? So if a person is not satisfied, they might be okay with death.
There is no end to life. Like they want to live forever, everybody. Who
Hmm.
wants to live all these? No one believes that they are some way less compared to others. They want to prove every time.
Yeah.
Life is like to learn and prove yourself all the time. So nobody wants to leave.
Yeah. Okay,
They
that's
won't
one
give up.
reason.
They won't give up.
Yeah.
And the other reason is like people are like they don't know how it comes, from where it comes.
Hmm.
It is unpredictable.
Mhm.
That's why they are so worried about that.
Okay. Yeah, these are valid points.
Everybody is saying they are afraid, they are afraid. We're all blown to it.
What is that? Everybody is
We are
saying?
all saying they are afraid, but we are afraid too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People.
I am
That's why I'm
afraid. I am
saying
afraid.
people.
Yeah,
Everybody is afraid, of course.
yeah.
That's why I said people. You're right. Absolutely.
We're all afraid, right? There is
Prabhuji, even animals will be afraid, Prabhuji.
No.
They also,
yes,
right?
Why
yes.
we are afraid is for a different reason. Okay, I'll tell you that. But why the common people who are not practicing bhakti, they're also afraid. Where is this fear coming from? Even though they have not seen death.
The previous Janma Vasana, Prabhuji.
Yes, correct. So even though they have not seen death in this life, they have seen death, like family members dying, neighbors dying, friends dying. They have either heard or some people they have seen a person dying live, but the actual fear of death is coming from previous life. There is an impression of that pain from past life. That's why, even though we have not seen death, it is very fearful. But when we are living, it's very interesting that we live in such a way that we are never going to die. So we always say, right? They are going to die. They are going to die. They are fearful. They are afraid. So this is not for me. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj was answering Yaksha Prashna, Yaksha asks, what is the most astonishing thing in life? Or what's the most astonishing thing in this world? Then Yaksha says, Yudhishthira Maharaj says, everyone sees the other people dying, their family members dying, neighbors dying, friends dying, but they live in such a way that they are never going to die. They are going to live forever. So what's that shloka? It's a beautiful shloka. మీకు గుర్తుందా అది లావణ్యమవుతుంది
In Mukundamala?
కాదు ఫ్రమ్ యక్ష ప్రశ్న
No.
I just forgot the first line. Okay, anyways. So this is the most astonishing thing he says. So that is one type of that is one reason why death is so fearful. We have an impression of death from past life. That's why we are fearful. But more than that, the devotees who are practicing bhakti yoga, their fear is even more dangerous than the fear that we just discussed now. The fear of losing our accumulations, attachments, family members. So there is more danger, more fearful than this. That is the fear of forgetting Kṛṣṇa. at the time of death, we have a fear that we may forget Kṛṣṇa. Either at the time of death or in the next life, we don't know how we are going to be born, which life we will get, whether human life or animal life, or if it is human life, what type of family, where I will be born, will I be able to practice bhakti and remember the Lord or not? So this is the greatest fear than the fear of actual death itself. The fear of being born in a lower species of life, the fear of not remembering Kṛṣṇa. But Kṛṣṇa gives assurance in Bhagavad Gita 2.39. He says, Neha Bikram Anashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. Even if one performs little devotional service, that is never lost. Person will be given good life in the next birth so that he can continue practicing bhakti from wherever they left off. So that is how Gajendra was able to remember whatever he recited in the past life. He was able to remember, and he recited and called out to Supreme Bhagavan for help. So at this time, Gajendra fixed his mind on Bhagavan for asking for help. So this is called vyavasayatmika buddhi. Again, Kṛṣṇa describes that in 2nd chapter. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana bahushaka hyanantascho buddhayo avyavasayinam. For a person who is determined on this path of bhakti yoga, their goal is one. And for a person who is not determined, who is irresolute, their goal is multi-branched. So initially, Gajendra's state was avyavasayinam. His mind was not fixed on one thing. He was looking for help from many directions. He was looking for help from family members, from devatas. And first of all, he was trying to fight against the crocodile. He was trying to save by himself. So these are the different ways of getting help when somebody is in danger. And finally, when everything failed, then he came to this vyavasayatmika buddhi state. One-pointed attention. One-pointed attention that Kṛṣṇa is my shelter now. He is the only savior. As we discussed in Mukundamala Stotra, right? Vishnu poto naranam. Only that boat called Vishnu potaha. Potaha means boat. Only that boat called Vishnu will save me now. Everything else has failed. So now let me fix my mind on that Supreme Personality. So two things we discussed here. One is how remembrance from past life will be helpful to continue our bhakti journey in the next life. Not only as a human being, but even as an animal also, it will help us. The Keshavan elephant from Guruvayur temple. How did he practice bhakti of carrying the Lord every day on his back? And then every Ekadashi, the Keshavan elephant used to observe Ekadashi. Somehow Keshavan knows that it is Ekadashi, and he would observe fasting. And finally, when it was the time of death, Keshavan left the body on the day of Vaikunta Ekadashi little far from the temple, pointing towards the temple in a namaskara by offering vandanam. Keshavan left the body. So that's a live example which happened in 1970s, not too long ago. Gajendra story happened in Satya Yuga, in Swargaloka. So we don't know. If we don't have faith in that, now look at Keshavan example, very recent example. There are many examples of human beings who practiced bhakti, but if we don't get inspiration from those human beings, at least when we look at this elephant called Keshavan, who practiced bhakti and attained Paramapadam on Vaikuntha Ekadashi day, we should take great inspiration from that. So this is all possible by remembering bhakti from past life. Now, can we remember whatever we have done from the past life? Can we remember in the current life by ourselves with our own effort? Did Gajendra remember the prayers of past life as Indradyumna Maharaj? Did Gajendra remember all of that by himself? No. It was all possible because of Bhagavan's mercy. The remembrance also comes from Bhagavan. Kṛṣṇa tells in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Purushottama Prapti Yoga, Sarvasya chaham hṛdi sannivishto mattha smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Sarvasya chaham hṛdi sannivishto. I am situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. And from me comes, Kṛṣṇa is telling, from me comes Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam. From me comes remembrance, forgetfulness, knowledge. So if Kṛṣṇa has to, if we want to remember Kṛṣṇa or forget Kṛṣṇa, it has to come from Kṛṣṇa. And the knowledge about Kṛṣṇa also has to come from Kṛṣṇa. Mattah smritir jnanam apohanam. Intelligence, remembrance, forgetfulness and knowledge. These four things come from Kṛṣṇa. So here Gajendra was able to recollect or remember the prayers from last life only by the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa tells in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is that shloka? Machchitta sarva durghani mat prasadat tarishyati. Machchitta sarva durghani mat prasadat tarishyati. Machchitta. Chitta means the mind. So, if you give your mind to me, if you fix your mind upon me, then only you will be able to cross over this material ocean, which is otherwise very difficult to cross over. Durga means it's like a great obstacle, like a fort. Okay, the entrance of a fort, you can say. That's called Durgam. So, if there is a security fence or some, a big wall that prevents you from entering into a palace or a building, similar to that, it is impossible for us to cross over from this material ocean by our own efforts. Durgani. But Kṛṣṇa is telling it is possible to cross over if we give our mind to Kṛṣṇa. Machchitta sarva durgani, but there is another condition. Mat prasadat. Mat prasadat tarishyati. Only by his prasada, his krupa. Mat prasadat means only by my krupa. You will be able to remember. And that is the only way to cross over this material ocean. Even in Mukundamala Stotra, what does Kulshekara Alvar say? About remembering the Lord, that is also only by the mercy of the Lord. Which shloka, which line is that?
Vismrutisvacharanam.
Avismrutisva charanarabinde bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. Very good. So Kulshekara Alvar is praying for this. Mukunda murda pranipatyaya che bhavantamekantamyantamartam avismrutistva charanarabinde bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. Kulshekara Alvar is praying for avismriti. Avismriti means non-forgetfulness. Smriti is remembrance. Vismriti is forgetfulness. Avismriti is non-forgetfulness. So instead of using the word smriti, he is using the word avismriti, non-forgetfulness. And there is a reason why Kulshekara Alvar used this word avismriti. The reason is that because we have a tendency to forget. That's why he is asking for unforgetfulness. Smartavyam satatam Vishnur vismartavyam najatu chit sarve viddhi nishedasyur etayor eva kinkaraha. Bhagavatam describes that smartavyam satatam Vishnur. Always remember Vishnu. Smartavyam satatam Vishnur vismartavyam najatu chit. Never forget Vishnu. First line of the shloka says, always remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna or Vishnu. Second line says, never forget Vishnu. The meaning of these two lines is same, but it is conveyed in a different way. Always remember and never forget. Because we have a tendency to forget. In the material world, it is very easy to forget the Lord. With all the attractions that are there around us, and we have a strong desire to enjoy sense objects, it is very easy to forget the Lord. That's why these two statements are given separately. Always remember God, never forget God. And all the other rules and regulations, the do's and don'ts that are prescribed in the Vedas, they are secondary. The highest principle is remembrance of the Lord. The goal of all yogas, Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, the goal of all the yogas is remembrance of the Lord. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janma Labha Para Pumsan Ante Narayana Smriti. This is another shloka from Bhagavatam. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam. The goal of Sankhya Yoga. Swadharma Parinishtaya. Swadharma means here referring to Karma Yoga. Parinishta referring to Ashtanga Yoga. Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janma Labha Para Pumsan Ante Narayana Smritihi. The highest goal of one's life, whether one is practicing Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, or Ashtanga Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga, the goal is Ante Narayana Smriti, remembering Lord at the time of death. Now, what happens when we remember the Lord? I mean, so far we have discussed only two aspects from this shloka. The shloka number 1 that Śukadeva Gosvāmī described. The first aspect is that how the spiritual benefit is transferred from one life to another. In the case of Gajendra, how the spiritual benefit is transferred from Indradyumna Maharaj to Gajendra, how he was able to remember. That is one aspect. Second aspect is how Gajendra has come to this vyavasayatmika buddhi, fixing his mind on Kṛṣṇa. Fixing his mind on Kṛṣṇa. And the third thing that we are discussing now is about smarana, remembrance of the Lord. So what exactly happens when we remember the Lord? What are the benefits? Why should I even remember the Lord? There is a beautiful shloka from Bhagavatam. Let me share that screen. This is from the last canto of Bhagavatam, 12.12.55. Canto 12, chapter 12, shloka number 55. Śukadeva Gosvāmī says, Avismriti Krishna Padaravindayo Kṛṣṇo Avismriti Krishna Padaravindayo Kṣinoti Abhadrani Cha Shamtanoti Sattvasya Shuddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Jnanam Cha Vijnana Viragayuktam. Okay, somebody can read. Sadhuchari Prabhu, can you read the translation? Are you on mute, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Your remembrance of Lord Krishna's lotus feet destroys everything inauspicious and awards the greatest good fortune. It purifies the heart and bestows devotion for the Supreme Soul, along with knowledge enriched with realization and renunciation.
Renunciation, yeah. So, Avismriti, same word, Kulshekara Alvar used in Mukundamala Stotra also, right? So, the remembrance of the Lord gives these benefits. Remembrance of the lotus feet of the Lord, Padaravindayo. The first benefit is Kṣinoti Abhadrani. Abhadrani means anything inauspicious. Amangalam. Kṣinoti Abhadrani. The remembrance of the Lord destroys all inauspicious things. This is the first benefit. Kṣinoti Abhadrani. Cha also, cha means also. Sham tanoti. Sham means fortune. Tanoti means expands, increases. Sham tanoti. It increases good fortune. So this is complete opposite of the first benefit. Kṣinoti abhadrani. It reduces or it destroys inauspicious things. Depending on the level in which you are remembering the Lord, either the inauspicious things can reduce or it can completely disappear. Second benefit is Sham tanoti. The good fortune, the auspiciousness increases. Mangalam increases. Sattvasya shuddhim. Sattva. Sattva means the heart. Shuddhim. Purification. Sattvasya shuddhim. Purification of the heart. This is the third benefit. As Kṛṣṇa said, Mrityu sarva haras chaham, right? Kṛṣṇa definitely in the form of death, he will steal everything from us. He will snatch everything away from us. But when we remember Kṛṣṇa, that remembrance of Kṛṣṇa can remove all our anarthas in the heart. Simply by remembering the Lord, we can purify our heart. Sattvasya shuddhim. That is the third benefit. Fourth one, paramatma bhaktim. It gives bhakti, remembrance of Lord. It inspires us to do more bhakti. It gives some taste in bhakti. It gives some realization in bhakti. Paramatma bhaktim bestows devotion for the Supreme Soul. And the fifth one, jnanam and vijnanam. Knowledge and realization. Knowledge that I am not this body, but I am the soul. That is jnanam, theoretical knowledge. But the vijnanam is actually seeing and acting that I am a soul, I am not the body. Acting on the platform of soul is vijnanam. Right now, all of us have that knowledge, jnanam, that I am not the body, but I am the soul. But how many of us are acting on that knowledge? We are not acting on the platform of soul. So that is possible when we have vijnana, the self-realization. So by remembering the Lord, by practicing remembrance of the Lord, we'll get both jnanam and vijnanam. And vairagyam also. Renunciation, detachment. So these are the various benefits that one gets simply by remembering Lord. Smarana. This smarana is one of the Navavida Bhakti Angas. As Prahlad Maharaj describes in 7th canto of Bhagavatam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Vandanam, Atmanivedanam. Out of which Smaranam is the most essential thing. At the time of death, when somebody is on the deathbed, they may not be able to do Shravanam. Because if their hearing sense is diminished significantly, they cannot hear. Even if the hearing sense is not diminished, but still, because of so many other problems that the person is facing, because of the disease or because of something, the person is already on the deathbed. So that situation itself is very horrible. So he will not be in a position to hear some Harikatha that time. So Shravanam is not possible for everybody at the time of death. Kirtanam, they cannot chant, they cannot sing Bhagavatam shlokas, Bhagavad Gita shlokas. They cannot sing Vishnu Sahasranama. So Kirtanam is not possible. But Smaranam is possible. Even in the difficult state, Smaranam is possible. Provided one has practiced this remembrance of the Lord during the lifetime. Even if one has practiced Shravanam and Kirtanam throughout the life, they may or may not be able to do this when they are on the deathbed. But Smaranam anybody can do. So everything has to culminate in Smaranam. All the other 8 limbs of this Navavida Bhakti, they all have to culminate in Smaranam. So now in this shloka, when Śukadeva Gosvāmī describes how Gajendra fixed his mind on Kṛṣṇa, and as we were discussing, the remembrance of the bhakti that he has practiced in previous lifetime, remembrance of the shlokas that he memorized from past life, that comes from Kṛṣṇa, Krishna's mercy only. But why did Kṛṣṇa give mercy to Gajendra? That's the question here.
Guruji, I got one doubt.
Yes.
Gajendra asks Kṛṣṇa to save his life or to give mukti, painless death.
Yeah.
Which one, to save his life or painless death, like mukti?
No, initially he was only looking for protection. He was trying to save his life from the danger of crocodile.
He didn't get help from his family.
His intention of praying to Bhagavan is to save his life from the danger of crocodile.
Okay.
But when Bhagavan appeared, when Vishnu appeared in front of him, his heart is purified, and then he was not even interested in saving his life from the danger of crocodile.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how Bhagavan purifies. If we get darshan of Bhagavan, then everything is purified. So what Gajendra was having initially is a material desire. Protecting his life is a material desire. But even that desire was also purified when Bhagavan appeared in front of him. And in fact, even before Bhagavan appeared also. Because as we discussed from that Bhagavatam shloka, right? Remembrance of the Lord, it does sattvasya shuddhim. It purifies our heart. Gajendra, as soon as he started remembering prayers that he memorized in the previous life, that means he is remembering the Lord. That remembrance of the Lord started purifying his mind already, his heart already. And when Bhagavan appeared, he did not even ask for saving his life.
Okay, Guruji, okay.
Yeah. But eventually, Bhagavan gave him Paramapada. Gajendra attained spiritual world. That is described in 4th chapter, the next chapter.
Okay.
So here the question is, now we all know that remembrance of the Lord is only possible by the grace of the Lord. But why did Vishnu show his mercy to Gajendra so that Gajendra was able to remember?
In his past life, he did prayers to Kṛṣṇa.
Yeah.
And he asked Kṛṣṇa that I should not forget you.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Our acharyas say that even if we are not able to remember Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa will remember us. Kṛṣṇa will help us remember him. At the time of death, the pain is so horrible that we may not be able to remember Kṛṣṇa.
Okay.
But if we remember Kṛṣṇa during our lifetime, then Kṛṣṇa will remember us, and Kṛṣṇa will make us remember him at the time of death. That's a good point. But there is another philosophical point here. Why Bhagavan gave his mercy to Gajendra? So that he was able to recollect whatever he has done in the previous life. He was able to recite Gajendra Stuti that he recited in his previous life. Why? Why did Bhagavan show his mercy on Gajendra? Anybody?
To liberate Gajendra.
Hmm?
To liberate,
Yeah. Why does he have to liberate? What's the qualification?
He asked for help.
He asked for help in his prayers, right?
Yes.
But my question is, how did Gajendra even remember those prayers that he memorized in his past life?
Saranagati, because of Gajendra did Saranagati, so that's why he showed his mercy.
No. I think you did not understand my question. My question is, in order to recite Gajendra Stuti, right? In the elephant life, he remembered whatever shlokas he memorized in the past life. And that remembrance is also possible only because of Bhagavan's Krupa.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So my question is, why did Bhagavan show Krupa on Gajendra so that he was able to remember those shlokas?
Prabhuji, like in Draupadi's story, it was like initially he was thinking that he can save himself and somebody else will protect. But he got to a conclusion that only Bhagavan can save. That time he got remembered, Prabhuji.
No, you still did not understand my question. See, once Gajendra starts offering prayers, then it's clear. Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yata Etachidhatmakam Purushaya Dibhijaya Pareshaya Bidhimahi. As soon as Gajendra started doing this, it is very clear. Everybody can understand that Gajendra started doing Sharanagati, and obviously Kṛṣṇa has to reciprocate. My question is, before that, how did Gajendra remember these prayers?
Imprints, Prabhuji? Previous life imprints in the soul?
Even though there are imprints, but you can only remember
He used to do
by
it every
the
day.
grace of Bhagavan.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Both, like, because of his imprints, so it was there in his soul.
Yeah.
And the moment, because
Agreed.
Kṛṣṇa has seen him,
Agreed. Imprints are there.
Yeah, and the second thing is because why Kṛṣṇa showed mercy? Because Kṛṣṇa waited till he exhausted all his available help, like his family, relatives, everybody. So when it became full surrender to Kṛṣṇa, I mean, when he understood Kṛṣṇa that he is fully surrendering to me, then like that surrender started, because he knew that now nobody else is there except God. That feeling came, and then he remembered everything. And then Kṛṣṇa gave him the mercy, sitting in his own spirit soul inside him.
Maybe Kṛṣṇa pleased at that time only.
Okay.
I don't know if I understood your question, Prabhu.
Yeah.
There are two aspects to this entire thing. One is when finally Narayana comes, right?
Yeah.
Gajendra says, Swami, I didn't call you to rescue me from the Grahagrasta.
Yeah.
I only called you because there is a lotus here that I wanted to offer to you.
But
okay, so there's one thing
listen to Dushyant Sridhar's lecture. Dushyant Sridhar tells with a proof from Vedas that there is no, Gajendra did not offer a lotus.
So you can say that, but there is another aspect to it. There is the Alvar Bhavana to it. The Alvar's understanding of it, Purvacharya's recommendation, it is not coming from me. And we can disagree with Dushyant Sridhar in a lot of ways these days. That is one thing. The second aspect of it is Kṛṣṇa himself says, like Charama shlokas are our pramanikams. Okay, so there is something called as Varaha Charma Shloka. Okay, in Varaha Charma Shlokam, Sthite Manasi Suswaste Sarire Satiyo Naraha Data Samye Sthite Smarta Viswarupam Cha Mamajam Tatastam Riyamanantu Kashtapashana Sannibam Aham Smarami Madbhaktam Nayami Paramangatim. So, in that Varaha Swami says, Aham smarami madbhaktam. I will think of the devotees, namami paramaṁ gatim. So even in the last minutes, if we are unable to think of him, it is his promise that he will think of devotees, asana and pure devotees.
Yeah.
So that is his promise is also there.
Yeah, that's what we discussed earlier. If we remember the Lord during our lifetime, the Lord will help us remember him at the time of death. He never forgets us. Even if we forget him, he never forgets us.
He never forgets, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is one reason why Bhagavan showed mercy to Gajendra. But there is another philosophical thing here. So that we'll discuss tomorrow.
Krishna has promised in Bhagavad Gita that if you have done some service in this life, he will make you remember next in that one. Trayato mehato bhaya.
Yeah, whatever you have done is not lost. Whatever you have done is not lost. But for that to be remembered, again, Bhagavan's Kripa is needed in this life also. So, and Bhagavan may or may not show Kripa, right? So, why did Bhagavan show Kripa here to Gajendra? So, that is some food for thought to all of you. We'll discuss that tomorrow. Okay? Any quick questions, comments, reflections before we conclude? Okay, we'll conclude.
Are you thinking out of the box for this question? Because everybody said a very valid answer. So
yeah, these are all valid answers.
Yeah, this everything is told. This thing is are you thinking out of the box? Is this some in Acharya Bhavana or something like that, or textbook reference?
No, this is a very simple thing. It's not, whenever I tell this tomorrow, it's a very simple thing.
I had to tell today only, Prabhuji. Don't keep suspense.
My question is that
we need to meditate on something, right? We need to think about this Gajendra Stuti. Tomorrow morning, as soon as you wake up from the bed, as Narayana himself said in 4th chapter of this canto, this is what we have to do from the bed as soon as we wake up. So start meditating on this.
Also, Prabhuji, one point you said that day, is it related to that Ganesha thing? That because he gave Ganesha first puja thing, and that's why he came to help. Same way.
No. That's not at all related. No.
Yeah, not related, but thinking out of the box, trying to relate, because you said that day, because Kṛṣṇa himself said, if first you do Ganesha puja and then puja me, right? Something like that they said. So that's what I was trying to relate.
And maybe it is in heavenly planet, that's why.
No.
Maybe he is his Vahana, Lakshmi Ma's Vahana.
No.
So because of Lakshmi ji.
He want to tell the people how he will come and protect devotees.
Yeah. So keep thinking. We'll discuss this tomorrow. Okay. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya
Mangalam.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Gajendra Stuti.
Narayana Akhila Guru Bhagavan Namaste.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.